Let me know, chat, if we're indeed live. I think we're live. I aspire to be live. What is exactly going on here? What is the plan? Well, there's a plan. So the answer is simple, right? We're gonna let people filter in, and then we'll talk more about what exactly we're gonna be doing here. But you could see probably in the description that Ukraine ADOPS, right, has been very, very, very busy because obviously you guys bankrolled an absolutely unbelievable amount of aid for not just the 22nd, literally everything the 22nd requested they got, and they still had a bunch of resources. They said, listen, we're gonna just help units in the entire northern sector, Kursk, Vovchansk, Kharkiv. All those guys got a ton of stuff. You can look over on their YouTube channel. You could see Ukraine ADOPS literally every day. They were giving more stuff to people. You could literally see poor Rima just look more and more worn out as they ran her all over the war zone. So, but now there's, of course, new units, new crises, new challenges, and we're here for it. We're here to step up for it, and particularly in Pokrovsk. And you guys know that has been the priority of Vladimir Putin personally. Putin has personally ordered that the Russian military not retake Kursk, but focus entirely on expanding their holdings in the Donetsk region. So, obviously, the units they're defending need all the help they can get. And with a lot of Ukrainian brigades in Kursk, well, those guys need all the tools they can get because they're already shorthanded. So, obviously, we're doing a little live stream fundraiser. Going to get those guys some of the stuff that they need outside in Pokrovsk. Now, first and foremost, as always, guys, I'm always good for my word. Got my donation here. I feel like I'm not very good at the interface, because I donated 250 buccarinos, right? Because I got to add patches to my patch wall, and that's what I'm here to do. But here's what we're doing today. And again, we're going to let more people come in, and we'll explain it again. But every time you lads increase this little number by 10 bucks, I'm taking a drink. Not a whole drink, otherwise I'll die. But we'll work through the drink, right? And what are they giving? So we're going to be helping out one of the elite Ukrainian units. This is the 79th Brigade. And what do they need? They need drones, of course, FPV drones, Mavics, Autels, FPVs, drone jammers, which are clutch right now, and other anti-drone devices, range extenders, because we know the terrain there is very open. So the ability to reach those drones way into enemy territory is crucial. And of course, thermal and night vision devices so they can operate there. And remember, guys, your donation, if you're US based, it's a 501c3 because you notice none of those things are munitions. They're not arms. And so this is not any kind of violation. So 501c3, US registered, tax deductible in the fullest allowable extent by the IRS. Okay, shout out to the guy whose name is Valery Gerasimov. For those of you that don't know, that's a Russian general. He even changed his profile picture to Valery, saying, "Stop sending stuff. I don't want to lose my job." That is pretty funny. I appreciate it. Whoever did that, that's good. I like that. Okay. So, what's the deal? What is the deal, guys? Well, first off, the rules are, as always, the same. Don't donate yet. I haven't used the base number, right? Also, if you have a message that you want read on stream, just include it in the little wall, right? As long as it's not absolutely horrific or terrible, I'll read it, right? Now, there's also swag, by the way, guys. $250 gets you the 79th Air Assault Brigade patch, which is sick. $500 gets you the Air Assault Brigade patch and the Ukrainian Airborne Trooper patch, plus $1,000 gets you the wall patch with even more of their morale patches. The sun flag signed by a bunch of units, sick. And of course, if you're the big donor, a big dog, you get like some sort of crazy grab bag, $3,000. So pretty sick. And, you know, I always appreciate the fact that, like, you didn't get the unit because, like, oh, I took a tour of their headquarters. You literally, like, bankrolled them, right? Which to me, like, I'm a big believer, you know, that, like, things are only worth what you pay for them, you know? And, like, it's like, okay, it's like a wedding ring, right? You know, my brother wears, like, a plastic wedding ring because he works in engineering. It costs $5. But that's not the value of it, right? It's just like these patches. To me, when I get them from a unit, particularly one that I've really helped out, I'm like, listen, this patch is worth a lot to me because those guys, like, we got to know we stepped up for them. So that's why I kind of like that. So what am I drinking? Here's the other thing. What are we drinking? Lads, we are drinking 25-year-old Gran Reserva rum. This is some of Costa Rica's finest rum, given to me by my father-in-law. You can see we just got a little bit left. We got to wrap up here, right? Producto de Costa Rica. Right, and when we finish this, we might switch to mezcal if we get to that point. But, you know, the important thing to understand, this was a gift from my father-in-law. Fun fact, guys, if you give a Cuban man his first grandchild, you're endeared to him for the rest of time. So, and the man has just outstanding taste in liquor. So we are finishing it out. And there's our drink. And the official start amount, I should probably write this down because I think things are going to get weird quicker than we realize. The official start amount is 7,591. So, let's see if I'm drinking. Da 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 da. All right, I am. Wow. Okay, shit. All right, we're up by almost $100. No, I'm sorry, like $50. Cheers. Let's see. Any messages? Nope, no messages. That's really good. Also, shout out Wes Downer. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Classic Valerie Gerasimov. Ouch. A combat vet news membership. Yikes, dudes. Also, guys. Also, guys, yeah, if you have a question, of course, you can throw it into the chat. And if you, you know, put out the super chats, it'll like jump you to the top of the line, so to speak. You'll get your question answered for sure. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. Of course, if you guys have more. Oh, whoa. Somebody just dropped some serious coin. We just bumped to 79. 7,900. Alex, thanks to all those fighting to defend the free people of the world. Shout out to Combat Veteran Reacts. Oh, yeah. If you donate and you put the message in there, that'll be cool because that tells them this is the fundraiser that's also working with Ukraine Matters and Warthog Defense, which is so cool. I love the fact that all of these channels are pulling together to help these units. So yeah, it helps let them know again that we stepped it up. So cheers to that, and to Top Flight, who says shot on me. Okay, well I'm definitely guys. I'm 37 here. I am not putting down shots, but we'll do another drink to you. Cheers to Top Flight and cheers to Albert. Also, guys, I'm sorry. If you have rum that's old enough to drink itself, you can't be going out there and just like doing it in a shot. But I will have a drink. Thank you, Top Flight. All right. Alex Witter says, what did I miss? I thought the city still stood. It does. It is. And there's reports the Russian advance has slowed. But again, it sounds like yesterday they made some progress. Here, we'll talk about it, Alex Witter. Thank you. Okay, so it seems like the Russian advance has slowed, but the enemy did advance. Russia advanced near Hrodivka. And you could see, here's Pokrovsk. So the Russians are not closer as a result of this advance, right? You can see their kind of apex here. So their closest point to the center of Pokrovsk is still 11 kilometers away. But Hrodivka does put them at a also very close. Like, they're within 5 kilometers. And the thing to also note, 10 kilometers is significant because that seems to be the distance where most reports indicate Russian artillery can accurately deliver fire, and some Russian FPV drones seem to be within range. So I think the Ukrainians have said, listen, this is actually, if we want to hold Pokrovsk, this is where we need to. And I'm not convinced that Ukrainian high command views Pokrovsk as being of any special value. But I think the fact is that Putin's going to continue to throw troops into this. And the holding this terrain, as we talked about with Kursk, right? The reason Kursk is these are poker chips that Ukraine is collecting to then go to the bargaining table and have more. But if Putin himself collects even more chips in Donetsk, then it would all be for naught, right? So that, I think, is the sort of the Pokrovsk situation. There's a lot of reports that it's slowed, but it does not appear to have stopped. And again, as we saw kind of in Bakhmut, the Russians sometimes settle into this pattern where they will advance, stabilize, secure the positions, bring up like offensive tools and sort of refit, rearm, and then push again. Oh, Alan asks, what governments are reaching out to me to spread pro-Russian messages? So I actually had an arm of the Ukrainian media reach out, and I politely declined because I don't want to get on message. Even though they promised me that they could get me all this access, I was like, I can't. I know how this goes. And when I declined, they were actually like very, very pushy, in a way that was pretty unprofessional. And then I have a lot of scammers, that, and a number of like phishing attempts that I'm pretty confident are Russian, government-backed efforts to take advantage of my channel. I've talked about the fact that hackers got into the YouTube copyright system and went after all of these solely pro-Ukraine channels. So, yeah, so both sides actually trying to get me to, like, what more evidence do you need that they are, that these governments are, again, they're both trying to do the same thing, which is get people on their message, right? But the reality is that I like I said in the video, in the 5 years I was in the Army, I obviously had extreme constraints on what I could say publicly. And when I worked for Homeland Security, I also was very constrained in what I could say. It was one of the things that drove me crazy about how restrictive you are, particularly when you're talking about your job. That I'm like, I'm not going to be a mouthpiece for a government agency again in my life. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Have we had any updates? Hitting the refresh, baby. Where are we at? Whoa. All right. 8,500. Who do we got here? John King. Joshua Vovchik. From one Slav to another. Keep fighting for freedom like my grandfather did. Salva Hirojim. Shout out to Combat Vet Paul. Hell yeah. Cheers to the Ukrainian people. Time to drink. Anonymous, I'm not doing this neat, right? Listen. So thank you guys. Solid work. I appreciate you so much. Hell yeah. Cheers to that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing being in the military teaches you is that there is the people that do the fighting who are, you know, who exhibit a level of bravery and self-sacrifice that is like the best of human beings. And then there's the governments who are a mixed bag. Some of them, and I truly mean it. I'm not trying to be patronizing, but like, you get some people who are just like true public servants, really committed to doing the right thing, wake up every day, could make 2 or 3 times as much in the private sector, but are just there because they love repping their government. And then there's some people that are like, oh, the government is a chance for me to rep myself. And, you know, it's hard to see that. It's hard to see, especially when you work with some of the true public servants. And then you see these like political actors and you're just like, you are such a slime ball. And like, they just roll back all of these, all the efforts of the good public servants. I don't know what else to tell you. And it's hard to see that. It's hard to see it when anybody, it's just hard to see. It's hard to see when anybody, when any government operates that way. And that's one of the things that I cannot stand about the, not can't stand, but I don't like, you know, I have sympathy for a lot of the young Russian soldiers that are fighting, right? The older guys that like should know better, I have less sympathy. They're volunteers, but like young guys, they get caught up in the propaganda. They really believe Putin's nonsense. And then the next thing you know, they're in a meat assault, riding on top of BMP, driving towards Pokrovsk, and they just get absolutely smoked, right? They just get blasted into nothing. And it's like, dude, that's not what you want, man. Like, why would you give your life for that? And I feel bad for them. I don't feel so bad that I want them to succeed. But I do feel just like they're human beings who got tricked. So Alex Witter, thanks. I appreciate your coverage. As an American, I'm giving for our allies whatever they need. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm here to see them get supported. I'm here to see Ukraine win. I think that a lot of the globe is looking at this Ukraine conflict, and they're saying, listen, are democracies really strong? Is a commitment to human rights and nation sovereignty that strong? Do these countries really support their allies, or are autocracies, Xi Jinping, Putin, you know, countries that don't have free speech, that don't have freedom of movement, that don't have a Bill of Rights, are they stronger? And if the global world looks and sees Ukraine fall, they're going to say democracies are just weak, they're fallible, they're you know, they're an antiquated system, and that countries need strong men. They need their people suppressed. They need speech controlled. So that to me is the reason to ensure that there is, at least to not have Ukraine be defeated, right? And it's a real danger. It's a real danger. So, all right, let's see. Let's see where we're at. 85. 86, baby. Another 100. Cheers. Cheers to that. Some Anons. Just dropping the Anon donos. That's the real alpha move, guys. It's not. I want to read the messages. I want to see the shout outs. But, you know, that's true altruism right there. When you can sit there and be like, I don't need credit. I'm just here to help these guys out. And FYI, you don't need like your real name. You can I assume you guys have anonymized it. I'll do one more for you. Yeah. So, what other questions do you guys have? Of course, if you have questions, you can just shout out there. Oh man, ooh, it's funny. This is absolutely just random commentary. I have been getting more and more into trap shooting. There's one really near my house. It's awesome. It's never crowded. It's super affordable. But holy cow. I went out with a buddy of mine who's a little like me, right? Where like you get really bothered by the fact when you can't do something, and you're like, so there's a couple of those stations where we could just not get these clays, and we put like each of us probably fired like 50 to 70 12 gauge rounds, and my shoulder is in so much pain. That's half the reason I'm drinking all this rum. All right. Should we see? Should we see if there's more? So I see we're getting more and more concurrence coming in. If you just came in, here's the deal. Here's the dealio. There's a link to Ukraine aid ops. They are trying to help the 79th defend the town of Pokrovsk. What do they need? They need drones, Mavics, Autels, FPVs, drone jammers and anti-drone devices, range extenders, thermal, night vision devices, and more. And they've got a fundraiser. Right? We really stepped up. The link to the fundraiser is literally right there, one step ahead of you. And yeah, we raised so much money for the Kursk incursion, and we saw how that went. Those guys got everything they needed, and boy, would you not want to be a Russian soldier in Kursk. But there's more, right? There's still the situation in Pokrovsk where Russian forces, their advance has been slowing, but just yesterday there's reports they made some advances near Hordivka, meaning that Putin is really committed. He has said, he's like, I will not be kicking the Ukrainians out of Kursk, i.e. I can't. And instead, we're going to focus on seizing territory in Donetsk. So it's a chance to humiliate Putin. Yeah, it's a chance to humiliate Putin by bankrolling the defenders of Pokrovsk. So the link is there. Of course, if you donate $250, you get a patch from the 79th, which is dope. 500 gets you 2 patches. 1,000 gets you the flag, the Ukraine flag, or 5 random patches, or signed flag. And of course, if you want to be the big alpha male super spender or alpha person, I don't know. It's 2024. You could be an alpha person. You get a package of goodies, a whole bunch of goodie bags. So the link is right there. And here's the thing: every time this number goes up by $10, I have a drink. So you watch me get blasted. Okay, Flix. He says, I tracked hundreds of UFOs during the Iraq invasion. What do you think about the UAP the Ukrainians have recorded and papers those scientific papers they've released? Drones recorded them. Okay, I strongly think that for every drone that we see mass-produced out there, I believe that there are, and have been for decades, niche experimental drones, stealth drones, very small drones, much larger drones, ones with long flight times and weird flight trajectories. So I think a lot of those UAVs, or UFOs, are experimental drones by either Russia or Ukraine. I saw, what were technically flying objects I couldn't identify in Afghanistan. However, they were flying towards Pakistan in what I knew to be like Taliban or insurgent or Haqqani network positions. And so I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can't identify these drone-like objects flying into the Hindu Kush Mountains, but I'm going to venture a guess and say it's the CIA deleting some Taliban. So that's what I think you're seeing there. Alan, thank you for the 10. Shout out for staying independent, telling it like it is. Another donation to 17. Okay, so we'll drink to Alan's 10. Thank you. And now let's see what the bump has been from 86.21 to, ooh, oh, damn, guys. Okay, nearly $1,000. Shit. Thank you for that. Cheers. And for those of you that just joined us, fun fact, I'm drinking gift from my father-in-law, this 25-year-old Costa Rican rum, finishing it out, and then we'll switch to mezcal if necessary, right? But because this is technically my last day of vacation, right? Monday. I mean, you're like, Paul, but you've made videos this entire time. This is true. I don't have a vacation in the sense that you guys have, but that's okay, right? Listen, if the Ukrainians fight every day. Those guys don't get to, those guys don't get to vacation from the war. I could definitely stand to make some videos. But this is the good stuff. My father-in-law got it for me in Costa Rica. As I said, fun life pro tip. If you give a Cuban man a granddaughter, his first grandchild, they're indebted to you forever. You're always you are held in great esteem. So, Hippo Druid asks, why is your headphone squished to the left side? The answer is actually because one of these things has come off, and I had to like glue it back together. I understand that like I could absolutely afford a new set of headphones, but these headphones, they always fall apart, and there's nothing else wrong with them, and I'm just like emotionally bothered by the idea that something tiny goes wrong with the headphones, and I have to throw them out and get new ones. I just refuse. So they're literally held together by glue. I understand you're like, Paul, you're a professional streamer. It's true. And yes, I don't take money from governments. I'm not Tim Pool or Dave Rubin, but I do in fact make enough money for headphones. But I just emotionally. Neuropilot, interesting. A classified stealth uncrewed aerial vehicle made its debut in 2011 during Neptune's Spear. That was for those of you that don't know, it's the operation to kill Osama bin Laden. But it didn't deploy weapons. It was a flying wing design, undetected and armed. ELINT is like electronically invisible, right? Yeah, totally believe it. Totally makes sense. And yeah, I think that's got to be just like a fraction of the reality. You can imagine, right? Rolling stuff like that out in 2011. Imagine, look, in 2011, like, remember that interview we did with the Liut Brigade where they were like, I remember in 2014, he's like, I saw one drone. I saw a Mavic. And he's like, we talked about it for months that we saw the Mavic. And now he's like, look at the drones they're rolling out now. So you can imagine what's out there, right? Okay. All right. So let's see. Should we do another check? John King, respect to your sobriety. I appreciate that. That's a solid move. All right, let's see. And the truth is, this is unusual. This is a vacation level of drinking, and you could see I've been working the same glass of rum this whole time. My dirty secret, I'm a veteran and I don't really drink that much. All right, let's see. Am I drinking now, though? Are we over 10K? Whoa. Okay, shit. We're at 11. Damn, lads. Damn. Okay. Any messages for the crowd? Anonymous. Respect. I cannot say that. And I cannot say these things, but I appreciate you. Interesting. What is one fact you think would turn a Russia supporter against the war? Take your time if you need. Or maybe one thing to tell Americans about why they should support Ukraine, especially Trump voters who are supporters. Interesting, James. Also, shout out to this anonymous. $500. Hell yeah. Get your fucking patches, my guy. Okay, that is a really interesting question. Okay, and there's an American and there's a Russian, right? Let's cheers for starters. Okay. So what would I tell a Russian? I think the number one thing, I believe that a lot more Russians are anti-war, but they just can't do anything, right? They'll go to jail if they criticize the war, and they won't end the war because Putin isn't elected. The Kremlin officials are not elected. Oh, Joshua Vovk. The Cyrillic guy is saying, glory to the Ukraine from the USA. Hell yeah, Google Translate, baby. Or just maybe he's a Ukrainian living in the US. Also dope. So what I would tell a Russian is just like, hey, get your information from more sources. Expand your sources of information. Even if you got to use a VPN. Because when you start to look at the sources and the evidence, you're going to see a new reality, right? You're going to start to see, what if things aren't exactly what you've been told, right? What would I tell an American who's like, hey, I don't understand why we're sending all this money to Ukraine? What I would tell them is that Ukraine, as a percentage of your taxes, what percentage of your tax dollars have gone to Ukraine? And the answer is Ukraine has received about, for every dollar you give them, they received something like a penny, maybe 3 cents. And in exchange for that 3 cents, we have taken America's second most troubling global rival, Russia, and we have destroyed their military. They raised a new army. We destroyed that army. And then we're destroying this third iterative army that has shown up in Russia. And so we have taken Putin's military from being an imminent threat to Europe to something that is currently struggling to seize a village in eastern Ukraine. We've crippled the Russian economy. We have done tremendous morale damage to Putin's regime, right? Russians have never been less satisfied with Putin's running of the country. And no American has died, and almost everything we've sent Ukraine is either gear that we want to experiment, where we say, we don't know how this will actually perform on a battlefield, so we want you guys to test it for us. Or gear that we've said, listen, the military equivalent of like a 97 Corolla. We said, listen, this is a good car. This thing's got some miles on it still, but we want new stuff, so why don't you just take it and we'll just buy ourselves new stuff. Now, again, that's what I would tell an American. That to me is the number one argument. This is destroying an enemy army without losing a single U.S. soldier. It's a win-win-win. John King, thank you for the subs. Respect. And Joshua Evolves, thank you. Neither my grandfather's from Slovenia, and I started learning Russian in the 6th grade and got more serious with Duolingo. That's cool, actually. My neighbor does Duolingo, and he swears by it. He loves it. He thinks it's really solid. All right. Let's take a peek. Where are we at? 11,000 and exactly 100 donations. Let's see where we're at now, baby. Okay. $10 is $10. Respect to Anonymous saying, I wish I could give more, but I'm just a poor old dude trying to scrape by. I never ask for people to donate more than they can afford to. I can say from experience, never underestimate politicians' ability to impede the soldiers' ability to win a war. Some things never change. Class of 67, senior trip, unfun. I think that is a reference to Vietnam. Yeah, getting drafted out of senior 7. But I'll have a drink with you. Cheers to that, man. Thank you, and thank you for your service in Vietnam. All right. So, what else? Alex Witter, thank you. Glory to Ukraine and to the heroes from the USA. Salvate all the people of Ukraine. Not all of us here in the States have forgotten about you. Dude, that's one of the things that shocked me, especially about the Kursk fundraiser. Is that you guys stepped up, man. Everybody stepped up so much. It was so cool. Be like, oh, you guys didn't forget. James Kelly, thank you. Will NATO start protecting their own airspace? Drone crash in Latvia. Drone going through Romania to hit Ukraine last night with jets apparently tracking it. That is surprising. I expect that to happen. I expect these countries to say, listen, you can't violate our airspace. Do not put your drones through our airspace. Do not put your missiles through our airspace. Period. So that is something I expect, because these countries, NATO has always said that there's the NATO borders, every inch of NATO turf will be defended. That has been the status since the start. So I expect them to go out and say, listen, we give you an accident. Accidents happen. Nobody gets hurt. You say, okay. But you don't get, right? Like the first time's an accident. The second, third, fourth time is maybe not an accident, I know you guys a drink for that one, James. Okay. Should we see? Oh, whoa, Red Palace. I hope all my friends here in the United States are clear-eyed about how important the next election is regard to our future, the future of our country's support of Ukraine. That I agree with. This election is a referendum on many things, but it is absolutely a referendum on Ukraine. And not just who's in the White House. Those down ballot races matter, right? In a lot of cases, yeah, they're between, even in states where there are two candidates, there's also where there's one highly likely candidate to win. Sometimes the message itself, right? Especially if you vote a certain way and then you send a message, you're like, hey, congratulations on your win. I just want you to know I am one of your constituents. I wanted to write in support of Ukraine. We talked about that. That really does work. But thank you, Red Palace, for the 50, dude. That's huge. Thank you so much. All right, and let's see. Let's see where we're at. Am I drinking again? I could drink to Red Palace for sure. Let's do a quick refresh. All right. 11-136. I think we may have some new folks here. Let's just put the donor box link in the description in case you guys didn't see it there. There it is. What if I can try to pin it? Let me see if I can pin this bad boy. Okay, it's like I'm getting that like weird emoji thing. The YouTube chat interface is just, it lives its own. It's in its own world here. Can I pin you? Yeah, there we go, baby. Pinned. Carl von Bonhoff, thank you for the super chat. Cheers. Oh, yeah, and that last dono looked like Robert Howell, so appreciate you, Robert. Dave Hessler, thank you for the 20. Cheers. All right. Alex Witter says, Red Palace, I might be drunk tonight, but I'm way too sober to the Ukraine issue on the ballot. Oh, like you're sober, you're aware of it. Gotcha. Okay. I was trying to I was like, man, you are drunk. John Cromwell. Oh, man, you're watching this on 1.5 speed? Damn. Yeah, I'm hopeful that the Ukraine stuff gets locked in. Like the Ukraine aid gets kind of locked in. Because remember, there is limited ability for the president to circumvent Congress. If Congress says you're going to do X, Congress is the most powerful branch. And that was the way our founders designed it. So, the president has a lot of power, but he is not more powerful than Congress. And if Congress says you're going to do this, you're going to do it, right? So that's kind of the hope, I think, is that whoever wins the White House, the existing aid has to go through because it's literally an act of Congress. Alex Witter, thanks. He's a wee bit drunk. Yeah, we're all on our way to that. Okay. Kenny Black says, "Do you think NATO should join the fight and get it over with?" No, I don't. I assume you mean boots on ground, direct fighting. I don't, because I worry about this. Well, I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, some NATO countries joining. Like, for example, if Poland was to say, listen, we've decided to intervene. We're not asking NATO to intervene because we are not attacked directly. And we say this is just a Poland thing. I think something like that I could support. I think it would get this. I think it would really, really, really just like pressure Russia. And it really, I mean, I don't think Russia could fight off even a modern military like the Poles. All right, let's see. We're at 11-1-3. Boom, another 200. Thank you, guys. Dave, donating $17.76. Hell yeah. Ukraine is experiencing its 1776 moment. Be brave and fear not. Hell yeah. Michael Oswald, shout out to Mike. Ukraine is now the bulwark of democracy against tyrants. Stand strong. Give them hell. Get out of 550. From Maine with love. Get out of Ukraine, Russia. Hell yeah. Also, shout out to 550. Is that an oblique reference to 550 Cord, the military's most powerful weapon system? Most pervasive weapon system? Perhaps. Yeah. So, I don't know. What other questions do you guys have for me? Exactly. Cool Hand says, I hate to drink alone. You are not alone. We are all drinking together. And we can all drink together more because we're raising all this money for the guys at Pokrovsk. We're drinking for the guys who are in position and cannot drink themselves. All right, so let's see. Should we hit a refresh, see if there's any more? 11-551. Oh, another $100. Hell yeah. Cheers. Okay, I'm actually a little low on this. But we only have 20 minutes. I'm going to get out of here at 9 probably. Is the veteran bar weed friendly? Depends on the state. Depends on the state. Yeah, people are like, "Oh, who are you voting for?" Again, I try my best to have this be a channel that presents facts, and not partisan stuff. Uh, but I think it is pretty clear that one of the candidates has said that they are going to like continue the current Ukraine policy, and one of them has said they're going to reduce aid to Ukraine. And so if that is an issue you care about, you should let that be one of the issues that affect your choice in candidates, right? Cheers, Alan Weber. Thank you. All right, we're going to have to switch to Mezcal. But for those of you that don't know anything about Mezcal, whoa, John King, more gifted memberships. Hell yeah. This gifted membership thing is kind of cool. Yeah, it's tough to argue with the fact that, yeah, when Russia tried to hire those influencers or did hire those influencers, they targeted all right-wing influencers, some of which it should really question you, or rather, it troubled me to see how many American right-wing politicians and political figures were willing to sit down with people who were expressly on the Russian payroll. Troubling stuff. But as I will also point out, what's her name? The super turbo leftist who runs every election. Oh, Marianne Williamson. She has had so many dinners at the Kremlin. So like, don't sit there and be like, oh, like you're saying that it's only the right wing. The Kremlin has been very clear with their policies. Their goal is to polarize America and its political environment as much as possible in order to gridlock everything. Gridlock the people's view of their elected officials, gridlock the parties, gridlock Americans around any individual issue, just lock the country in an inability to decide and execute policy. Jeebus asks, where's the best place to donate to the Ukrainian war effort? My brother in Christ, it is the pinned comment. We are working with Ukraine Aid Ops to raise funds for the 79th, who is currently defending Pokrovsk from Russian incursions. And they're looking for drones like Mavics, Autels, and FPVs, drone jammers, range extenders, thermals and night vision devices, and more. Ukraine Aid Ops is a registered 501c3, which means you can claim this on your taxes. Because again, you may notice none of these things are actual weapon systems. They're all non-lethal devices. Again, thermals, range extenders, drone jammers. The drones are commercially available drones. They don't have any weapons on them. And yes, remember to request your flag or patch. But also, yeah, these guys need your help. You're right. Situation in Pokrovsk is tough. The Russians are gearing up for another advance, right? We thought maybe they were done, but it looks like they're continuing to move near Hrodivka. So they need all the gear they can get. And so helping these guys get some of these drones, again, you're talking about they're looking for up to 40 grand. And, you know, as you donate, you get access to more and more swag, right? 250 gets you the patches. 500 gets you 2 patches, right? And big stuff gets you some, like, signed flags and all this other cool stuff. So, really, it's a good fundraiser. What I like about Ukraine Aid Ops, and I'll show you why I'm into it, right? I'm a person who values transparency a lot. Let's see. Here they are. So, Ukraine Aid Ops, what I dig about them, here you go. Here's their most recent videos. You wonder, hey, did my donations go to get used? Yeah, here's literally them in the ruins of Vovchansk, giving the 3rd Assault Brigade 10 drones. Here's their Special Intelligence Unit getting a drone jammer and more in an undisclosed location, i.e. Kursk. Here's another airborne unit snipers, getting a whole bunch of swag, drone jammers, water filters, literally 7 days ago, 8 days ago, 9 days ago, 12 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And you could see just the scale of this operation, and that you can literally see where your donations are going and what they're funding, which I think is sick. So that's one of the things I appreciate, that these guys are out there, again, being as transparent and as honest as possible. And that we know, right? I like that. I like knowing the unit it's going to. I like being able to be like, these guys are on the map. Here's where it's happening. Here's who they are, right? It's totally different to be like, yo, I got this patch, for example, from the 79th. Hey, this is the patch of the Ute Brigade, the Ukrainian military police. When they were fighting in Vovchansk, we were able to get them some drones and drone jammers. I love that stuff. I love being able to make that kind of direct help, that direct connection. Anyway, guys, let's see. Rumor is there's been some donations. I'm going to hit refresh. We're going to see. Whoa! Broke the 12K mark. Okay, I'm just sipping ice at this point. So, I don't know. I've got 10 minutes. Let's see. I wonder if I could ask my wife to bring up the mezcal. So let's see. I'm going to see. I'm going to text my wife to see if she can come in with the mezcal. Oh, nope. This is important because I don't want to leave, right? I don't want to miss chat. Like, what am I doing if I can't do that? Okay. I see. All right. Where I have like 60 group chats that are me and my wife. Okay. All right. Hey, can you bring up the mezcal? Wasn't much rum left, and we are getting lots of donations. Okay. I'm going to pop off the headphones because I want to be able to hear if she shows up. Party's just getting started. People like the slurring has started. Whoa, Nate, nail traps. Thank you for the 100, dude. People like straight rum is one hell of a hangover. Yeah, I believe it. Okay, thank you, Nate Traps. It came with no comment. People are like, "Oh, you're slurring." No, I was sorry. I was texting my wife. Yeah, asking her to bring up the mezcal because we're out of rum. We're out of rum. But Nate Traps, I appreciate you. Yeah, and then once she gets here, we're gonna check to see if there's been any updates, any new donos. Again, in these last 8 minutes. Whoa, Flix only drinks rum from the Seychelles. That is bougie, dude. No comment needed. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That is sick. Mark Washburn says, not good to mix rum and mezcal. Listen, you guys saw this thing. This has been like 1, maybe 2 ounces, maybe 1 shot's worth of rum. So I'm going to have a little bit of the mezcal. And again, we'll probably be done at like 9, maybe a little later. Maybe we'll stretch it out a little bit. But again, we're not like, we're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. I do need to function tomorrow. 2 drinks is not going to be what does it. Exactly. Mix whatever I want. The Hillbillies, Tennessee. All right, see, you guys do your moonshine. right? That's some scary stuff. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm not. I'm one drink in. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, Roy Trevor's confirmed he donated. So, all right, I'm not going to drink nothing. So I'm just going to see. I'm going to take 2 seconds. I'm going to grab it, get the mezcal. I'm going to drink it the traditional way. So, we'll have a little bit and then we'll drink to your dono. So, listen, go donate if you haven't already. There's the link. You absolutely should. And then we're going to hit refresh and we'll have a little mezcal. I'm just sipping, so we'll be all right. Okay. Gotta take those? Yeah, if you don't mind. Okay. All right. What do we got? We have young mezcal. Product of Oaxaca, the culinary capital of Mexico. All right. We're just going to do a little bit, just a little bit. All right. And we got our one giant ice cube, right? Okay. So there we go. All right, just enough to have a good time. Oh, 1 sec. All right. Just a smidge. All right, let's see, guys. Let's do it, baby. 12,000. Where were we when we started? I think we were at like 7,000 maybe. All right. Hitting refresh. 12-1. All right. Well, shout out to the crew that donated. Oh, mezcal. Never change. Hell yeah. Rory Chivers. Oh, nice. Wait, did I miss something? Okay, cool. Here's a comment. Rory Chivers. Ruski Soldat. Ed Domio. It sounds... Soldat is a German? An anonymous. Greetings from Canada. Shout out to Combat Reacts. It'd be interesting to hear your perspectives as a former MP on how Ukraine or others might go after war criminals during or after the war. Do you think they'll demand Nuremberg-like trials or settle for how Mossad handled the bad Germans? Colonel Sanders says in German, Pute is a turkey hen. The plural is Putin. When I hear the name Putin, yeah, I think of a big turkey. Thanksgiving is coming. And Drugged Bunny says, coming from Combat Vet Reacts live stream, fundraiser dream for Pokrovsk. Thanks, Paul. Shout out from Scotland. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, guys. Thank you. Okay. Will there be... I think so, right? One of the reasons, there's already been... Ukraine has already kind of made it clear that they are trying to approach this war with as much of a Western sensibility as possible because they're trying to show the West, listen, we are a Western-style country, right? So maybe Putin would find people who... Putin wouldn't go after war criminals. But if he went after people who did things he didn't like, we know how Putin does it, right? And Ukraine's trying to say, listen, no, we're going to use the ICE, the International Criminal Court. In fact, they had the International Criminal Court issue an arrest warrant for Putin. So that should tell you, right, they're not going to try to do something different. Andrew Borth, thank you for the 50. Drop 30 on the fundraiser. Paul, you are failed at both sides of this political mess. Remember, the GOP was reflexively supportive of a strong national defense. I'm mostly on the other side, but it was always something I agree with. Yeah. Yeah, and that's been one of the things that's been strange is, I remember when like Bush was a Republican, and admittedly, I'm not exactly a fan of like the neoconservative movement. Like that managed to somehow be the worst of both worlds. But even like a Reagan, right? The modern Republican Party loves Reagan, but Reagan would never would have never been cozy with Russia. Reagan did. When the Russians invaded Afghanistan, what did Reagan do? There's your answer, guys. Oh, Rory is saying Russia, go home. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. All right, well, cheers, guys. Cheers to those donations, man. Thank you so much. Wow, mezcal is... I forget. Just straight mezcal has a taste. Okay. Novak, super chats do not go in the fundraiser. The link is pinned in the comments. If you have super chats, I appreciate it. They help me, as discussed. I am not funded by Russia, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. If Russia was funding me, given the fact that I'm actively raising drones for Ukraine, we're literally, in the course of this live stream, we've raised what, almost $5,000 for drones, and you can guess what these drones will be used for. So if I was also taking Russian money, that would be some 5D chess, or I would be daring the Russian FSB to throw me out a window. My house only has 2 stories, but, you know, 2 stories is it's all it takes, all right? People like, take a mezcal shot. Dude, I'm sipping, all right? I'm sipping. It's the last day of my vacation. Enjoying myself. Vacation. You're like, Paul, you still made 2 videos every day. How was that a vacation? As I said earlier in the stream, Ukrainians are fighting the war every day, man. They don't get a day off. I can make a video every day. Keep you guys informed. All right. Should we see? Should we see where we're at? Oh. I hit the refresh button. All right. We are at 12-3. Hell yeah. Interesting. There's been one of the questions here. Willie. You know, I don't know what to think about Willie OAM. I like him. He's good. You know, he and I like he's another smart guy. I respect the fact that he did a lot of reporting from these war zones. That is pretty cool. Pretty alpha right there. Yeah, I think he seems to have had a little bit of like a pro-Russian turn, and I'm not really sure where that came from. Right? Some people are just contrarian, right? They're like, if the conventional thinking is X, I'm going to think Y because I can't be like everybody else. Yeah, and he may be a case of like, listen, Willie has yeah, you know, and again, Willie's out here making the content that he can make, he needs to make. All right, Jesus, UCSB, $20, Viva Ukraine, more drinks on me. Salva Ukraini, U.S. Army veteran for Zelensky. Cheers to that. Cheers to another vet, man. Yeah, it's funny. I was actually thinking, and let me know what you guys think of this. All right, let's see. I drank to you, Jesus. Hey, another $100. Hell yeah. From West, Salva Ukraini. From Opelika, Alabama. And Opelika means big swamp. Anonymous donating $1991, saying 1991 borders. Bottom line. Keith, 100. Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. People like segue into Strike Gun promo. So actually, we've been running a bunch of ads for Strike Gun. We're trying to figure out like how they're performing. And so I actually haven't been talking about Strike Gun that much. Plus, we just wrapped up our Labor Day sale. And I'm sure you guys are just tired of hearing about it. But what I was thinking about in one of my videos, right, I wore that tank top with like the horizontal stripes, and people were like, "Oh, it's a VDV shirt." It's not. But I don't know. I was thinking about doing something where like maybe I reach out to the units and I'm like, "Hey, listen, if you guys pull any patches off of Russians, maybe we'll just say Russians that totally surrendered and are totally fine. But you got their patches and you sent them our way. We could like auction them off as a fundraiser, right? Like some crazy bounty hunting stuff. Like, hey, you send us a patch, we send you some drones. But that sounds kind of fucked up, and I actually don't want to. Like, I think it'd be cool, but it would only be cool if it was something that they were gonna like get anyway. Does that make sense? Yeah, Joshua Evolved. It actually has the VDV shirts. Yeah. I think it'd be sick to be like, hey, to get, you know, I think it'd be cool to get like an actual like Russian like plate carrier from a Russian that was captured. Yeah, I think some of that would be actually really cool. Just to be like, you know, again, probably not super legal. Do I have a merch shop? No, I don't. No, I don't. I had one of those print on demand shops, but the quality was so bad that I was just like, nah. When do you think Ukraine's ballistic missile can go live? I think we're probably a couple months away. Maybe a little shorter. Ukraine's arms industry, dudes, is on another level. Wait, Joshua Volk, are you in Ukraine? I don't want someone else's stuff. The point is that it's a battlefield trophy. I mean, obtained not illegally. Listen, guys, I don't need that. Why do you think I made? If I was taking Russian money or Ukrainian money, or if I was like the CIA shill or whatever that all the Russians in the comments say I am, I would not need to invent strike gum. Right? I would have just taken that money. But again, the universe needs it. Like, be real. If you chewed it, you understand that it's like people don't need an energy drink. I don't know what to tell you. Hauling around an energy drink sucks. So like, it's a no-brainer. There just needs to be a better chewable energy drink. And that's what we made. So the B vitamins, actually, I tried a formulation with B vitamins. The problem is, the reason Red Bull has that like vaguely citrusy taste is that the B vitamins are actually what give it that vaguely citrusy taste. And so you can imagine it's like orange and mint is what the flavor profile, or kind of like berry mixed with mint. It's not good. So that's why we did the Alpha GPC, because it just fits the flavor profile with mint. Yeah, 100K an episode, dude. By the way, would you care to join me in dunking on Tim Pool for his absolutely abhorrently low view count? Whenever I worry about the state of media, you know, I point out that basically, Timmy Pool here, has what, 12 views in his video, 6,500 views. He briefly hit 100,000 views 6 days ago. Like, all right, my guy, 20,000 views. To give you an idea, like I said, this guy's making, you know, the current going rate is about 20-25 per thousand is a CPM. So the what an influencer will charge on a per 1,000 view basis. So if he's averaging, let's be generous, and 30,000 views, and let's say he's got great representation, they negotiate him $25. You're talking about $750 a video. So then the Russians paid him $100,000 a video. right? That's like going to a public school teacher and being like, well, I'll pay you $1 million a year. And the fact that Tim Pool, the fact that his spider senses didn't go off should make you worry about every other guest. Because if he can't figure out somebody offering him literally 100 times or 10 times, no, 100 times what the going sponsorship rate for a video should be, should make you worry about every other guest on this show. Do you see what I mean? Because this is not a man. You bring him on because you hope he's doing journalism, right? He's thinking through things. He's bringing on guests who have deep thoughts, who have legitimate perspectives, and he's hopefully filtering out charlatans, right? And the fact that he can't filter out a huge charlatan, or chose not to, in a fake billionaire, should bother you. It should bother you. So again, that to me is the number one thing. People are like, isn't that Tim Pool's second channel? Nope, not according to the indictment. They cited he had 1.3 million. What do you call it? Timcast is his other one. But I think that's his largest channel. No, Timcast is this channel. Tim is now just says Tim Pool. All right, guys. It's 9:10. We're going to wrap it up. I know we've had a really good, consistent audience. Last chance to throw up some donos to the guys in Pokrovsk. We did a solid for them. We're going to hit the refresh, and then I'm going to polish this off. So we're going to give it a couple minutes for you guys to run that donation. Then we're going to wrap it up. Oh, his channel's Timcast IRL. I feel like he changed his name. Oh, interesting. He has a second channel, Timcast IRL, that has 1.8 million subscribers. And that has the same kind of mid views. But I guess if you're stacking them, if you're doubling them up. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's also putting out like a lot of content. Like a lot. Okay, I see the method. But again, he's got a studio. He has all these other guests, you know? Yeah, okay. Damn, Tim Pool's really pushing it. Also, guys, listen, I'm just gonna put this out there. Tim Pool, this is somebody who's so insecure. Let's see if I can find the picture. I'm gonna dunk on him because you know what? He and I are in the same field. The difference is I'm good at what I do, and he's a charlatan. And if you want to know, let's see if we can find it. Yeah, here we go. Look at this very, very secure man. This is someone who went to a Miami fundraiser. As you can see, this is a very bougie Republican Party fundraiser. And as you can see, Tim Pool is wearing a fleece cap. Now, I want to make a couple of notes here. One, you're Tim Pool. You made $100,000 an episode. You could get a hair transplant, my guy. You could get one of those really fancy wig things, you know, hair systems or whatever. They look great. And instead, he's so insecure that he can't do that despite having the money. But he also won't take off his absolutely ridiculous looking hat. Like, you know it's bad when you're saying this to Roger Stone, and Roger Stone looks put together. Because, like, I'm sorry, these are women's sunglasses? And, like, what's with the flower? The flower and the pocket square? Nah, dude, you're a man. You pick one. Right? Everything else about Tim Pool actually looks appropriate for the event, which makes it just sadder. Because it's like Tim Pool knows how he's supposed to dress, but his insecurity literally won't let him just be a bald man. Okay? And again, you're like, you don't know what it's like to be bald. Yeah, dude, I do. I don't wear a hat everywhere. Like, I also reach a huge audience. And guess what? You guys still care. You guys don't care that I'm bald. It doesn't matter. That's a thing that happens to human beings. Look, there's other bald dudes at this event. Look, this man, bald man. And look, he doesn't look like he's cripplingly insecure. Only Tim Pool does. Literally, this is like some middle... Does this not have middle school energy to you? Where there's just always one kid who has like his lucky... Like the thing, like one time the girl he has a crush on was like, nice hat, and then he didn't take it off the rest of his life. Like, holy shit, guys. This is, and here's the thing. I'm not just dunking on him to dunk on him. This is the level of decision making that a news broadcaster, someone again who purports to be able to uncover the secrets of the universe. My guy, you can't uncover the secrets of your own head. I'm going to show you the fucking real truth. Bro, show us the real truth about your hairline. It's just, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad when there's a lot of smart people in the world, and then there's Tim Pool. And again, like, I'm just so fluxumed by the fact that he has all the money. Neuropilot pointing out, that's true. If you've done nothing with your life and you're a nobody, then maybe you just have nothing to rely on but your physical appearance. But again, if that were the case, if it were the case that Tim Pool is like, was like, I have to look cool every day, all the time, then like, again, you made $100K an episode. Do half an episode, take 50 grand, get the literal best hair transplant guy in the world, whoever did, what's his name? The guy who keeps doing LeBron's hair, or whoever fixed, gosh, the UK footballer. Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. Wayne Rooney, right? Wayne Rooney looks great, my guy. Just fix it and move on with your life. Or, hear me out. You could just try to, like, be secure. Anyway, guys. Have you donated? We're going to do one last refresh. We're going to finish this mezcal, and then I got to get out of here. We raised over $5 grand that we know of. Last chance. Last chance. It's spamming the link in the chat, as one does. All right. Oh, yeah, Elon. Elon also somebody who has hair made a comeback. Made a huge comeback. Yeah. Like, there's so many options, guys. From, you know, having actual self-esteem, being secure in yourself, to hair transplants, to those crazy wigs, to a hat that isn't a knit cap. I don't know. Like I said, you got options, Tim. You got options. All right. Oh, somebody says his bottom button was screwed up. Okay, wait. Let's see. Is that true? That he didn't even button his shirt right? No, he's fine. You don't do the bottom button. All right, last one. Let's see. Where are we ending it tonight? 13 grand. 13,666. Man, yeah, imagine seeing that as the FPV drone spirals towards the Russian's head. Just 666. Yeah, I love it. All right, Steven, remember the stolen children? Oh man. Quadammit FPV. Whoa. Quadammit FPV Brother, you are the OG. Hell yeah. Getting your Ukraine signed flag. Fuck yeah. Luke, thank you. Peace for Ukraine. Thank you. Cheers to you. Quadamit FPV. You are the true OG. All you guys who donated are. But especially the dude who donated $1,000. Just to put us at 13,666. All right. Damn. That was some serious fundraising we just did. We started at 7,591. All right. We'll do it real quick. So it's currently at 13,666. Let's pull it up here. Here's a calculator. 13,666 minus 7,591. $6,000. Guys, that is sick. That is so sick. Thank you guys so much for what you did. Oh, actually, we just got one more. Sorry, I finished my mezcal. 13,700. Huge thanks, guys. The link is going to stay up. We're still talking about it. So, you know, stays open. The benefit, all the other perks, the only perk that you won't be able to get once the stream ends is the one where I drink. And that's probably for the best. So thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so much fun. I appreciate you. We made a huge difference to those guys. We literally bought them probably 10, 15, 20 FPVs.